Okay, hi you guys. I wanted to come on here and just talk about Instagram a little bit because I know a lot of you have had questions about Instagram. Some of you know how to use Instagram and you're really good at it and you don't need this. But this is like kind of an introduction to Instagram. And I just wanted to share it with you. I hope it's helpful. If there's anything else that you need regarding Instagram, let me know. But for now, this is a start if you have not been on Instagram or if you have questions about how to use it. Okay, so I'm going to show you through my own Instagram account. Okay, well, so first you have to download Instagram, right? So you have Instagram on your phone. And so you go here and you click on Instagram, and this pops up. Can you see this? Let's see. It's the best here. Anyway, it shows my name, my bio, and this is how many posts I have, how many followers I have, and how many are following me. And then this is how I edit my profile. So if I want to edit that bio or put another link in it or something, I can click here and do that. These are Instagram highlights, story highlights. Your Instagram story shows up here. So if you click on that, you can see my Instagram story, and it'll go away in just a second and take you to the next one. And that'll go away in just a second. And when you post an Instagram story, it's only there for 24 hours unless you add it to an Instagram highlight. So for instance, this is an Instagram highlight about my podcast. So if you click on it, there's whatever I've posted in my story about my podcast, I've added here to the highlights. So if somebody new comes to my Instagram and they want to know more about my podcast, they can just click on podcasts and see some of these highlights. I can always go into my story, into my highlight and edit it, meaning I can add more recent stories and keep adding to it as time goes on. Okay. And then these are all of my highlights. Then this is my feed. So these are the posts that I post to Instagram. So like today, I posted this to Instagram. It says, I'm the kind of person who, and then it has a blank. So I write a post, I write a caption, and then I can see how many people liked it or how many people commented on it. The way that I know if someone's liked or commented on my Instagram post is it's on this heart. So I can see who's commented and who's liked it. When someone new has commented or liked it, that's going to be lit up with like a 1 or a 2 or a 3, and I can click on it and see what's new in that, like who's liked it. Okay. So in the bottom here, we've got, this is the home screen, meaning you're going to your home feed. So when I click on that, it's a little house, means you're at home. You can kind of scroll through all the people you follow and see what they posted. If you want to search, you can go here and say, I want to search and see, what my daughter's up to. I can put in her name and it'll take me to her account so I can search what she's posted or what's in her stories. If I want to add a post, I click here, this square. I'm so sorry, you guys can't really see that there, but there's a square with a cross in the middle. You click there and this pops up and you can add what you want to post next. And then that's the heart we talked about. Now, if I go here, this is a little circle with my face in it. It takes me back to my page. So if I'm scrolling and I want to go back to my page, I click on the little circle with my face in it, which is the same as here. I am going to try to get this a little bit easier for y'all to see. There we go. Okay. So this is easier to see. This is my Instagram. Okay. So we've got home, search, add a post, check and see your likes and comments, and get back to your home page. Okay. So you may be asking, how do I post a story? And Instagram stories are really important right now. People are looking at stories more than they're looking at your posts. So what I have learned and I have found and learned from experience is that I could post something and maybe 1 or 2 or 3 people see it. For a while, I switched to an Instagram business account, and I wanted to see the impressions, right? Like who's checking it, who's liking it, that kind of thing. And so I looked at that for a while. It was very frustrating. Once I changed it to a business account, hardly anyone saw my posts anymore. And I think what's happening is that they want business people to pay for promotion to promote their posts. And so they make it kind of impossible for people to see your posts. That's okay. I mean, it is what it is. It's called the algorithm. There's one on Facebook as well. It's the same company. Obviously, they're in business too. So they would like us to pay to promote our posts. And so the days of like free advertising to the whole world on Instagram and Facebook is kind of over. But one of the ways that you can get a lot more views and a lot more engagement is in your stories. And so that's why stories are so important right now. Okay, so if I click on here and I see my story, I was just being silly. This is the Breakfast Club, and it just says Twitter, Facebook. It just says which one applies, which one is like which social media, right? And so anyway, it was just kind of a joke. Go to my Instagram and look at it if you want. And then the next one is just an affirmation. It says, I'm not going to rush anything. And they go away really fast, so you kind of have to double click sometimes. So what I did here in these stories to let you know is if I was going to post a new story, I could go here, click on my thing, and then click on it again. There's a plus sign. It takes me to a blank screen. So I could just take a picture of myself doing this right now. Let's see. And I could post this. Now, if I wanted to say Zoom call with Team Yes, I could do that. I could make it prettier by going here on this box that has an A on it. And wait, hang on. Sorry, click on it again. Okay, so there's my writing. If I want to make it pink, if I want to make it purple, any of these colors, I can. If I want to make it have an outline, I can by clicking on that A. I can also change the font by clicking on this up here at the top. So you can play around with the letters. So if it's like this, I can put it down here. I can put it up here just by moving it around with my hands. So you can play around with it. You can also go up here. There's a little face. It's like a sticker. And you can type in something. So say I want to type in yes. I want it to say yes really big. I can do any of these yeses. So I could click here and then that would go here and I could do it like that. I could make it bigger by pulling it out, pushing it in, right? So you can make this really pretty. The other thing you can do is you can kind of make your face have like different effects, right? So there's this little tiny smiley face up here with stars. And if you go like this, you can click on here and I get glasses. You can click on here and it just kind of makes it like pink and pretty. You can click on here and I get like a nose here. Let me see. Get like a nose and ears. So there's all these different effects that you can have. So when you see that somebody has a really cute Instagram story, it's not that they're super creative graphic artists. It's that Instagram has made it very easy for us all to look super talented in this arena. So up here is where you want to go for your things to add to your picture. Now I just clicked on this arrow with the line and that means I saved it. So I saved that for myself, which I don't want to post this because I don't like it. So I'm not going to post that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of it. If I wanted to post it, I would just push send to, okay? And then right now I don't want to do that. So I'm going to click out of it and I'm going to discard it. And then it takes me back to this. Another thing I can do is if I don't want to post a picture, I can post a boomerang. You know what that is? That's when you, let's see, I'll show you. You push on the boomerang button and a boomerang goes back and forth like that. It's very confusing. You can choose to go live on an Instagram story. And this would be us going live, like me just talking live, and people could join. So all of my followers on Instagram, if I go live, Instagram gives them a little notice that says, Great Big Yes is live on Instagram right now. And they can join me, they can ask questions, they can say hello. It's like a Facebook Live, okay? And you can do Instagram Lives up to an hour. So, and that changes sometimes, so double check that, but it was like that before. Okay, you can do super Zoom, you can do hands-free. There's a lot of different things you can do here. One thing that a lot of people do is they create, which means it says create down here. And what that means is you just type in text. So you just say, wait, hang on. Oh, sorry. You tap to type. And then you just type, I hope you're all having a beautiful day, or God bless you, or you're doing great, or some kind of like affirmation or something that you want to say. Or maybe you type in a quote here. Maybe you type in some news that you have, like big news. Join me over on, check out my latest post for the newest business thing that we have going on. Big news, there's a special, don't miss it. Big news, everything's on sale. Big news, right? So you can type that in there and then share it. Okay. So there's lots of different ways to create an Instagram story. Mostly what I end up doing is I end up posting a picture or posting something I've saved from somewhere else, kind of sharing something, or I go live. And I want to do more lives. So that's coming because people tune into Instagram stories and Instagram lives. Again, a lot more than the engagement on posts. I mentioned earlier that I had a business account. I switched it back to personal and I went back to getting more likes, but still there's many of my friends who follow me on Instagram who say they never see my posts. So I think it's the same. For everybody, it's just kind of getting harder and harder to be seen. And so we need to try to find ways to get around that for our businesses. So Instagram story is one of those ways. So I'll find in my story, 150 people watch my story, but I'll get like 10 likes on a post. So I think there's more reach with the stories. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this, could go on and on, but we're doing the 1%. So we're just doing Instagram today. But when you post you can post a link in your Instagram bio. So if I click on that link, what comes up for me looks like this. And I'm trying to see if you can see it. There you go. So it says Great Big Yes. And then it has all of these links. The top one says join Team Yes Coaching and Community Group. Listen to podcast on SoundCloud, listen to podcast on iTunes, say yes on Twitter. So it's all the different ways. Join Facebook group and book group, 10 things God says about you, subscribe to the newsletter. So this is called Linktree, linktree.com. And it allows you to have more than one link because Instagram, only allows you to have one link in your bio. So many people will just have the link, like I used to have it just say greatbigyes.com. But when you see people's Instagram accounts, when you see their stories and you see their posts and it says link in bio, that's what they mean. So you click on the link in the bio and it'll either take you directly to someone's website or it will take you directly where they want you to go. So you're directing people to something. So when I was launching a workshop and I wanted everyone to just come to the workshop, I had a workshop link on there, but I no longer have the workshop link on there because that's not happening right now, right? So you can change the link tree as things come up. You can also not use Linktree sometimes and just put them to your website, right? So there's lots of different options. You've seen people share articles. Maybe they've say, I've written an article, link in bio, and it goes directly to like the New York Times or wherever that article is. So you can make that link anything you want it to be, but you want it to lead them to the place you actually want your client to go. And remember, confusion is the worst thing you can do. And so I'm going to clean mine up a little bit because there's a lot of stuff in there. But we want to be super clear. We want to have clarity with what we're doing. And so the link tree helps because you can add more and it's still pretty easy to understand. Okay. There's other options besides Linktree, but that's just the one that I use. So I wanted to let you know that. So we've got Instagram stories up here. We've got the bio with the link in the bio. We've got Instagram story highlights. We've got our grid here, right? Now I've chosen to do a grid layout. So I do a picture every other day. I do a picture and then words, picture, words, picture, words. And I've done this forever. So it goes back pretty far like that. I like the way that it looks. For me, it feels organized. It's a design choice. It's certainly not something you have to do. There's many people who have fantastic Instagrams who definitely don't do this. They have all pictures or they have all words or they have, so it's whatever applies to your business. Like if you're a business with products, you're going to be posting pictures of the products, right? So I'm a coach. And so I like to ask questions and offer coaching advice and kind of coach through the Instagram posts. And my goal in that is to get people engaged and interested in what I'm doing. And then I post when I have a podcast and things like that as well, or when I have an event. Okay, now this section here, over here. Okay, so there's three things here. Here, this is the grid. This is where we are. I'm going to go over here to the other end. And this is posts of anyone who's posted something and tagged me in it. Okay. And so there's some posts here that have tagged me in it. This one is especially interesting, the Top 10 Texas Podcasts. All women hosts of podcasts in Texas, and I was on there, which is very, very exciting. And then I'll have some where, my friend tagged me when we had New Year's together in Mexico, right? And so it could be whatever, whenever people tag you, you go ahead and it shows up in here. So you can see. You'll receive a little notice in the heart that says you've been tagged, and then you'll see it. Okay. And then here in the middle is Instagram TV, IGTV. Okay. These are videos, long form videos. Look at this one. Oops, two of them I'm upside down. So, oops. Perfection's not the goal here, right, guys? Okay. So these videos are videos I've made. They have a title, and so it'll say like, join team yes. And this was a video I made about that. This one says Peter and Judas, because I came home from church on fire about a story about Peter, the story about Peter and Judas, or the difference between Peter and Judas. Life coaching, never miss a Monday. Stop selling yourself short. So these are longer videos. Now, what's really cool is you can take a video on your phone. You can add it to your grid here. So the first part of your video's there. And then it'll say at the bottom, after 1 minute, because the only amount of videos you can do on Instagram on your grid are 1 minute long. But after 1 minute, it'll say keep watching at the bottom in a little box, and people will click on it and it'll go to your Instagram stories to watch the rest. Okay, so watch. So this one has me in here and invite you into a new group that I'm launching for 2020. I'm so excited about it. So it's, and this is the group you all are in, which
We all need both, in my opinion. So this is a group for
So
women business owners, entrepreneurs, and visionaries who really want to have a full, abundant life
it
while they're growing their
is the
business.
beginning of my
And so if
video,
that's
right?
you,
So
let's
when
do
people
this
are
thing. All right, it's
scrolling,
only $25 a month. You guys, I mean, come on. It's like a yoga class.
when people are scrolling,
Get so
they
much
see me
more out of
talking
this
and it's kind of interesting to them. So they start to watch a
very
video. And then if they're still hanging on after a minute, which is a big deal nowadays, a lot of people will just pass by it. But if they're still hanging on after a minute, it will come up and I'm waiting for it to show you where it says keep watching. Okay, see, here it is. Keep watching. So if I click on keep watching, it takes me to the actual video, which is stored in the Instagram, the IGTV. So that is stored here. There it is. Okay. So I know that's a lot. So if you're taking notes and if you're new to this, you just want to know you've got Instagram stories are going to be up here. You've got to make a bio that has to do with what you're doing. Mine says Sue Bidstrup, coaching and community. I help business owners, entrepreneurs, and visionaries stay on track so they can grow their business without losing their mind. Here's one thing I want to suggest. Like my name on Instagram is Great Big Yes. Gosh, I wish you could see this better. Anyway, it's Great Big Yes. Follow me if you're not following me. So it's at Great Big Yes. So when people come to Great Big Yes, I don't want them to be confused about who I am. So many of you are under your own name, which is great. But if you're not under your own name, I suggest you put your name or somewhere your name. Because what happened to me a lot of times is people reach out to me on messaging, and I'll show you that too. And they'll say, hey, Sue, let's connect. I'd love to meet you or something. And I have no idea what their name is because their Instagram name is completely different than their actual name. And so I think it's better if somehow, if somebody wanted to contact you, that they would know your name. So if there's a way that you can somehow put your name in there, I think that's helpful. Or you could put in the link tree, if you link it, one of the link things could be like contact Sue here or something. Just so there's somewhere there's your name and they know who is Great Big Yes, okay? That's something I wanted to mention. Okay, so if you're in your just your regular Instagram account, your grid, sometimes in the little house, there'll be a red dot. If there's a little red dot in the house, there'll be a message signal up here. So you click on the red dot or you click on the house and this little arrow will be red or there'll be a red dot. You click on it and there's messages, DMs. Maybe everything just went ding, 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 ding. If you've heard people say, I'll DM you or I DM'd you. So now everybody, if you have an Instagram account, go to that. And if you didn't know that was there, go check in case a lot of people have been DMing you and you haven't noticed. So that's another thing. So I hope that this helps you. I know that there's a lot. I would say if you're starting an Instagram account, the first thing to do is just get a bio that you love that actually describes what you do. Who is your client is the first question you want to ask yourself as you're making up that bio. Okay. And so I want to talk to you more about who is your client later. That's a different subject. But this right now is you get a picture that you like of you or of your business. You put a bio in there and you put a link in there to your website. Just start there. Linktree can come another day. Remember, it's 1%. So if you're starting an Instagram account, don't worry about Linktree, don't worry about IGTV, and don't worry about stories. Just start by posting one picture maybe, and just start with the bio and the website. Okay. And then when you go to any of your websites, in the little corner, you can put the Instagram icon and people can click on it and go to your Instagram account. So everything starts to be connected. We got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got Twitter, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Pinterest, maybe. Or maybe we just have one thing. And maybe you realize Instagram isn't for you. I love Instagram. It's beautiful. I do think it's beautiful. It's easy. It's quick. You put a caption in there. It's not like Facebook in the way that a lot of people don't really comment as much. It's more kind of here's what I'm up to. And in the stories, you can show people behind the scenes. But it's definitely, I think, more fun in a lot of ways than Facebook. It's very beautiful. It's very, I guess it's visual more than it is words and talking and conversation. I think that it's a younger demographic. I think, I'm 50 and all of my friends, a lot of my clients are on Facebook. So I have a lot of people following Great Big Yes on Facebook. And I have 1,730 followers on Instagram, which is, it's good. But I would say that it's a younger demographic here. So I would say it's more women in their 30s and 40s and starting to be like my age too, in the 50s. But Facebook is a more, I guess, my demographic, my age, but my client would be in both places. So for me, I use both. I hope that makes sense. We'll talk more about where the clients are, where the demographic is and stuff like that if you want to talk more about that, because I think that's really interesting and I love trying to find. But what I've realized is I've had really loyal followers on Facebook since 2010, and they're still there and they're still following and they're still engaging. So I just need to find ways to engage people here as well. I think, again, it's different people. So I have different people engaged here than I do on Facebook, and some crossover as well. Okay, I hope that helps. It's like Instagram 101. And I'm sorry about like the lighting and everything, but hopefully you get it. Now, as far as how to make these look nice, because what's going to happen is if you add a story, like you do a new highlight, the thing that will pop up is the story. So if I do a new highlight, I clicked on that plus, say I want to do a new highlight, and I just click this and I do next, and I see it's going to pop up with the picture of that picture I just chose. So what I did was I went into Word Swag, which I'm going to do a video on Word Swag right after this. And I made these to look exactly the same color, the same font and everything. So if you go to my Instagram at Great Big Yes, you'll see that I made those covers for the highlights so that they would be uniform. But you do not have to do that. It's up to you what you want visually for your brand. Okay. And I can help you answer any questions with any of this. So let me know what your questions are. Save this so you can refer to it, and it's in the resources so you can refer to it anytime. I hope it helps, and I love Instagram, so let me know if you want me to help you do anything or have an opinion about anything. I love Instagram. It's fun. Okay, you guys are doing great. Also, I want to hear if you open a new Instagram account, tell me. I want to follow you for sure. So tell all of us, say it on the Facebook page and we'll all follow you. Okay. Bye, you guys. Blessings to you. I'm rooting for you and cheering you on. You're doing great.